Hey everybody, and welcome back to the board meeting. We're doing another little board game rambling video where I just talk about a board game topic that I feel like talking about that day. And today's topic centers around how many times do you give a board game a chance before you decide that board game's fate for your collection? Like if you're going to get rid of that game, if you're going to cull it, if you're going to keep it, what are you going to do with that game particularly? How many times do you need to play a game? Is after one play, do you really know whether you think the game's really good or if you really hate it? Or is it going to take a couple times, 3, 4, 5, 6 times for you to play it before you kind of decide? And I have one instance, well, I have several, but one main instance of a time I judged a game too soon, and that is the game Blood Rage. I bought that game, and because of all the hype, I heard how great it was, a good drafting game, battle game, and I bought it and I played it at 2 player count. I absolutely hated the game at 2 players. Then I decided, well, I'll try it again. We tried at 3 players then. And it was much better, but I still didn't enjoy it that much. But one of the people that I was playing with really did like it at 3 players. And I was like, you know what? You can have it. You enjoy the game much more than I do, so you can have it. Then the next week they brought the game to game night, and we ended up playing a 4 player game of it. And I absolutely loved the game at 4 players. It was, I shouldn't say a mistake to give him the game, but I kind of regret judging that game too early because I was like, yeah, this isn't a game worth my time. It's not my type of game. But then I tried it at 4 players and it was like, okay, yeah, I absolutely love the game. I just don't like it at the other player counts. So yeah, I want to hear from you guys what you guys think about that. Does player count really matter to you for a lot of these games? And for me, I tend to judge games quicker if they're lighter games. Like if that rule book is 1 page long and there's not a lot of complexity to the game, after you play it once, you see everything that that game has to offer most of the time. So for those light games, I play them once or twice and I'm like, yeah, you kind of know where that game sits with you. As far as like medium and heavier games, I have to play them a few times before I get like a official read on those games. Because there's a lot of times I'll play like a medium or heavy game and I'm like, I don't like that at all. And I'll go back and I'll reread the rules or something like that and I'll realize, hey, we played that game wrong. That's why that felt so off. Is because we were just playing the game wrong. And I'll go back and I'll play it. I'm like, yeah, I actually do like that game. So for me, like lighter games, I play once or twice and I kind of know exactly how I feel about that game. Where medium to heavier games, it takes a few times for myself to give it like a final judgment on that game, if you will. Um, and speaking of that, like how about expansions? Say you don't like a game at all, but everybody's like, if you get this expansion, it'll fix the game. If I don't like a game, I'm not gonna get an expansion for it because I just feel like that's gonna take a game that I don't like and maybe it'll elevate it a little bit. But I've never had a game where I just didn't like it at all. Get an expansion for it, and then I'm all of a sudden like, oh yeah, I love this game. It usually what happens is if I get an expansion for a game that I don't like, it brings it up to a tolerable game. So for me, I don't want to spend or give any more money to this game just to make it a tolerable game. If it makes a game that I like a lot, makes it a lot better, I will look for that expansion. Like Terraforming Mars. I love Terraforming Mars. The only issue I had with Terraforming Mars was that I felt like it was too long and too slow to start with. And so I got Prelude, the Prelude expansion, which all that does is speed up the beginning process, make the game a little bit shorter because you start with a little bit more stuff. So that's an expansion that took a game that I already rated like an 8 or 8.5. My only issue with it was it's too long, and it fixed that issue, making it like a 9 or 9.5 for myself. But yeah, I just want to hear from all of you what you guys think of this particular topic. That will be it for this video. I know it's a very short video. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe to see more weekly content from me, Shane, at the board meeting in the future. Hope you all have an amazing day. Take care, everyone.